This is the Phantom, and we're back here live on the convention floor. Jim Dressel, my sidekick, and the guest is Mr. Jim Sturm. We've only got about 15 or 20 minutes, so we can't list all of his accomplishments. But Jim, thanks for showing up.
Oh, it's great to be here with you guys and Phantom Radio and being a part of this great expo that's here this year and being part of with BPA bringing it here to Reno. So we're really excited.
Jim, I think you'll notice that he introduced me as his sidekick, and the problem with that is every once in a while he kicks me in the side. How are you faring? Is he treating you okay so far?
You know what? I really love being out here. Of course, I was, years back, I was on the original design team of the stadium and gave some input and was out here every year since then as a part of bowling meetings, whether it be with BPA or USBC. So I got a great relationship with the family, and that's kind of how it transpired. And when the opportunities came this way, it was almost like a no-brainer, and being a part of this bowling community and still being active in bowling was a sure fit for me for the remaining part of my working career.
I got to tell you this, Jim, and it's my ignorance, but I didn't know you were the great bowler that you really are, to go along with all your managerial skills. You know what? That was years ago. I competed many years ago and I had a very successful youth and collegiate and early professional career. And I found out early on that I had more of a passion for coaching and teaching than I really did bowling. And so early on I had the opportunity to get into the business with my father, and of course from there did a tremendous amount of teaching and to what I love to do today. So love the bowl as a competitor, but truly like helping people get where they want to be today.
In your new role as with the Tri-Properties, obviously the Bowl Expo convention itself has kept you busy, and of course in conjunction with the fact that, as a former proprietor, so you were kind of the middleman, the point man, if you will. Both specialties, you handle it pretty well, right?
Well, it really worked out very good because it was more or less I was the liaison, if you will, between BPA and the Tri-Properties and everything that went on here for the city when it came to this event, and having somebody on the ground, boots on the ground, that was very familiar with Expo and how it operated and what was to be expected. So it worked out very well for everyone, and probably took some loads off of some people's feet anyway.
Jim, I'm probably in charge of asking the embarrassing questions. It looks like you've lost some weight.
You know what? Somebody asked me that the other day, and I said, when I got out here, within the first probably 30 days, I learned that there is truly 8 hours of sleep, and there was such thing as a day off, because I spent 32 years going 7 days a week nonstop, and it's just, to do this right in this business, you have to have the passion to do that. Well, it has taken me a long time to kind of wind down to where most people are, and with that, lost weight and feeling good, started working out again, so good things.
I also noticed there's a little bit of a tan there as well. You probably haven't been a stranger to a lot of the local golf courses, right?
It's really funny. The Tri-Properties, the Circus El Dorado and Silver Legacy, do a great job promoting golf in the summer. It's a very important part of their industry. Chad Stiegel, who is a PGA pro, who is kind of my opposite at the El Dorado, sometimes asks me to go out, and when he has a lot of guests in, he can't handle and be with them all, so I represent the El Dorado on that swing or two, doing a little bit of play on the golf course with him.
That must have been tough to volunteer for that one.
It was a tough volunteer, but somebody had to do it.
Well, you look fantastic, and I got to tell you that I'm kind of uneducated in one other area too, and that is, where are you spending most of your time now? On the bowling lanes, teaching bowlers, or what are you doing basically?
Well, what I'm doing right now, obviously, is spending a lot of time working with the USBC tournament, being kind of their host while I'm here, working with all the ladies. We have a pro shop set up over in the Tri-Properties, so I spend a lot of time working with bowlers, and then on the off times, I'm working on events and tournaments that we're going to have in place starting in July and August through the end of the year when USBC is not here. So really a very busy time for me, and then of course with Bowl Expo on top of that. So I'm spending a lot of time.
That contract extension with the National Bowling Stadium had to work out really well for you as far as keeping Reno the bowling spot in the world, right?
Well, exactly, and bowling is a true industry part for Reno, and they realize the importance of it, so they spend a tremendous amount of time and effort with the city and the legislature raising funds to do a lot of major improvements at the stadium, and of course that helps with the 2030 efforts for USBC as well.
Yeah, that renovation is going to be huge, millions and millions of dollars, right?
Right, exactly. We actually started it off in early spring with the Hall of Fame downstairs, and then in mid-August we will eventually start the training center, or the 10 lanes being installed downstairs on the other side. We'll do some more renovations inside the hall, and then each year after that, from lanes being replaced upstairs to the grandstands being removed, and a completely cosmetic overchange inside and out, along with a nice sports bar upstairs as well. So a lot of things happen, a lot of great things.
One other thing that I should ask you about, BPAA, this is your last time as an ex-officer, am I correct?
Right.
Or as an ex, what do they call that? You're a
past president.
Past president. Well, I knew that, but this is your last official role this year?
Yeah, I started on the board actually, serving on committees with BPA back in 1992, and became a board member in 2000. And you know what, it was a wonderful opportunity, and my wife and I got to travel all over the country and meet fabulous people such as yourself and other proprietors that really make this industry tick, and I will surely miss that. It's kind of bittersweet, but it's nice to know that I have an opportunity to stay in touch with the industry and be a part of it out here in Reno.
One thing I know you won't miss as much as all those interviews you had to do with Jim Dressel, right?
Well, you know what, Jim, it's you've always been a great media leader for our industry, and thank goodness we had people like you in the Phantom that can expose our sport and expose our world, and because truly, if we didn't have the media, we would just not be what we are today. So
yeah,
thank you for that.
It's been a couple of times when we were almost arrested for exposure, but that's another story.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Goodness gracious. Anyway, Jim, we miss you in the industry, out there in the field, like you always been, and you were one of the most highly respected gentlemen, and we know you're going to do a fantastic job out here. So before we close, is there anything that you'd like to say? Well,
I'd like to say to all of our listeners of Phantom Radio and everyone that supported BPAA and USBC and all the bowlers of the world, thank you for supporting myself and all my time spent with BPAA and USBC, and surely wish Godspeed to all of you and all of us, and let long live bowling.
All right, before we let Jim go, people from all around the country that visit Reno, how can they get a hold of you to improve their game?
It's very simple. All they got to do is go to gobowlreno.com. That's our new website that'll be launched this week. So gobowlreno.com, and you'll have all my contact information, and surely be excited to see and hear from everyone out in the Phantom Network.
Thank you very much for being with us, Jim, and continued good luck.
Thank you, sir, very much.